love about self-concept, self-image, how we perceive ourselves, is that it can change. It can change at any age. You're never too young, you're never too old to start doing the work. Self-image is the conception we have of ourselves, right? So how we perceive ourselves to be. So I want you to think successes, failures, experiences that you have had, especially early in childhood. Because when I said in my last video that a lot of times your self-concept is formed based on preconditioning and pre-programming, yes, but extended to how you have perceived these specific experiences, humiliation, embarrassing moments. Let's jump into part 2, self-concept. But first, let me introduce myself. I am Coach 𝗬𝗂. Thank you for coming back, tuning in with me again to drop some more gems and add some direction and clarity to your life. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, engaging, comment below. Sharing is caring. Don't forget to share this video. And guys, it costs you nothing. If you are into the laws of attraction, remember what I'm trying to accomplish on my end. Later on down the road, you can be trying to accomplish something too. So I don't want it to affect you negatively in the long run. With all that being said, let's get into the video. Now, once an idea or belief goes into our mental picture, we're not seeking validity, whether it's true or not. We simply perceive it to be true based on the experience that we had. For example, let's say a young child, is in the room singing. You hear this child all the time, always singing their favorite songs, being in character, but expressing through song, right? And then you have the parents in the other room, they're just talking, doing their regular activities. But one day, the parents, are overheard by the child talking about, how much we love them, but singing is just not their talent, right? Like, this is not for them. Hope this is not something they want to do. So this child hears this. Automatically, what happens is the child believes this to be true. So they start behaving different, right? You don't hear this child singing in the shower, singing in their bedroom, having this ray of light anymore. So what happens is all of the actions, feelings, behaviors, even the abilities in which the child thought that they had, completely suppressed, right? Because they overheard the conversation with their parents saying, this is not this child's gift. Another great example, I know many parents do it not realizing, because we've been programmed or conditioned to speak in this manner. For instance, if your child is, studying fractions in school, this may be a sub-subject that they are not too savvy in. It doesn't mean that they're not good with math, but, they come home, they need help, or their grades aren't where they should be in this particular subject. And you will respond as, maybe you're not too good in math. Right? And that's okay. So what happens is the child has to meet you at that, right? Because they've already taken on what you said as a belief. So what happens is they have to prove you right. So you're going to start getting grades and test scores and interim reports and report cards showing math isn't this child's best subject. So in short, you wind up showing up or acting like the person you conceive yourself to be because you've taken on new beliefs. And with this, guys, I have noticed just in my life, which I have shared experiences in my last video, just in my life, what does that do? It creates limitation. It creates lack. It creates false beliefs that now prohibits us from doing what we like, doing what we love, being the best version of ourselves. The girl who perceives herself as a failure, she's always going to fail no matter what, no matter how good, how hard she works, no matter what her intentions are, she is going to prove herself to be a failure. The person who always feels unlucky and never wins everything or wins anything, they are going to prove themselves right? They are going to enter contests already with the belief, I never win. I never get chosen. So you're going to prove yourself right. I don't even know why we get mad when we get the results that we asked for. We get the results that we asked for, that we pre-assumed, and then we're upset. But what I love about self-concept, self-image, how we perceive ourselves, is that it can change. It can change at any age. You're never too young. You're never too old to start doing the work. Unfortunately, I know too many people who have already accepted certain things that they don't like about themselves as a permanent way of life. Like they'll say, this is just the way I am. Take it or leave it. This is just my personality. And it's not true, but it's true to them. It's their self-image. It's the self-concept that they've adopted. It is literally their belief system. A lot of people will even go as far as to saying, I've tried positive thinking. I've tried that before. And honestly, I like to dive into what you've tried when it comes to positive thinking or positive self-talks, right? Because when people say that, they normally have only practiced it in the moment, like when they needed it, right? So let's say you're going through an anxious moment and then you try to start saying some positive affirmations. That is not what I mean by you doing it on a consistent basis. Positive thinking is doing it whether you have a reason to or not, right? You're reprogramming, you're reconditioning your mind from thinking what it's not supposed to be thinking, right? Thinking in lack, thinking in scarcity. So are you really practicing positive thinking? Are you really practicing having positive self-talks? Like, is this something you're doing consistently, or are you doing it situational based? And I feel like right now is a good point to let you know positive self-talks and positive thinking is a part of the system that I'm going to give you to help get a grip on your self-concept and self-image. Now, before I jump into that, there's one more thing before positive thinking and before positive self-talking that I want to give you that you can literally start working on today. I highly recommend you start working on it right now. And guys, I have given this exercise before. I'm going to give it again because it works. So from this moment of you watching this video, I want you to start thinking about how you think and the things that you say. So on one side of this sheet of paper, I want you to put talk, right? On the other side, I want you to put thoughts. So you have talk and thoughts on the opposite sides of paper, and you are going to begin to write down what pops into your mind or what comes out your mouth by instinct, right? So for example, someone may ask you for gas money this week, and they may have asked you twice before in this current month. You may respond, money doesn't grow on trees. I'm not a bank. Find somebody else. Pick someone else. But that's not true, right? Instead, you can easily just say, it's not in my budget. I'm sorry. It's not in my budget. Honestly, you don't owe anyone any explanations when you set boundaries or when you're not able to show up in certain areas that you would like to, right? Let your no be no, let your yes be yes, move on. Instead of saying, I'm just not a good cook. That's not true, right? Maybe you haven't had the proper guidance But saying I'm just not a good cook is just an absolute lie. So we're not going to say that. We would say, I don't enjoy cooking. I don't prefer cooking, because that is the truth. If I invited you on a trip and you weren't able to go, instead of saying, girl, I don't have the money to do that, you should say, this is not a good time for me to go on this trip. Maybe next time. That is it. I don't need to know how your money looks. I don't need to know what you are setting yourself up to do in the future. I don't need to know any of that. It is what it is. And guys, start with writing this stuff down, because now you have a sense of awareness of how you've been responding. You don't know what to go off of if you're just trying to randomly think of things that you say or have said in the past, because it just doesn't work like that. Same thing with your thoughts. I want you to start thinking about how someone can bring you a topic and how you will run off with negativity. Like literally, this just happened to me today with someone. They called and, we were talking about death, and she got anxious and in panic mode, and she's like, oh no, this can't happen. I don't have it. I can't take care of this individual. I really don't want to be bothered. And I was like, well, hold on. Wait a minute. Why are you assuming this responsibility? Why are you taking on a burden that you don't want? Why are you assuming this? Like nothing even happened. Nothing even happened. So this will allow you to see where and how you are reacting to certain situations, and where you are just, pre-assuming negative situations. You really have to sit down, look at what you're saying, and then think of alternatives of how you can better respond, or just not respond at all. But again, you want your thinking on track. So guys, I'm so glad that I could share this video with you, because it is a constant work in progress. I'm still working on things every day, and I find it so imperative to our life, to our success, to actually be intentional about the way we speak, the way we think, so that we can attract more positive experiences. With that said, guys, I hope you were able to enjoy this video as much as I enjoyed sharing this knowledge. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, let me know how I'm doing, drop some comments, engage with me. It's completely free. And until next time.